Charter Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance. We're coming to you from the National Association of Counties Convention in Long Beach, California. We are joined by Alan Ishida. He is a supervisor in Tulare County. Tell us about Tulare.
Tulare County is the #1 agricultural county in the nation. We are the #1 dairy county in the entire nation. Tulare County has 450,000 people. My district includes the Sierra National Park, the Sequoia National Park, which is the giant sequoias.
Nice. Give us a sense of how Tulare was facing the drought prior to this year, because we saw some rains this year. I want to get a sense, what was it like in Porterville, in other major centers in your county?
Tulare County is also a center of the citrus industry.
Right.
And most of the citrus industry is highly dependent upon surface water. And our surface water comes from the San Joaquin River from Millerton Lake. And we received a zero allocation for 2 years.
Zero.
Zero.
Not 5%, 0%.
Zero. So what happened was a lot of us growers pushed our trees out.
Which means
It's going to take 5 to 8 years before they become profitable again after we replant those trees.
So when you say push them out, you removed them.
Yes, we pushed them out.
And that land is now fallow.
Yes,
Nothing
it is.
is growing on them.
Correct.
It's not as if you can remove them and put them back in a year.
That's right.
That's not how it works.
That's correct.
So give us a sense, what does that mean for you? What does that mean for the residents of Tulare County that you had to fallow so much land, that you had to remove citrus trees?
Well, what's happened is the fact that the first year of the major drought, we received a zero allocation. My family, we bought 300 acre-feet of water, which cost us $300,000. And the second year of the drought, because we could not recapture that amount of money from the previous year, we only bought 50 acre-feet of water, and we pushed out 55 acres of trees. So my neighbors and myself, we're all going through the same issues. We're pushing out orange groves, and in 5 to 7 years, after we replant them, they'll be profitable again.
Yeah, but over the next 5 to 7 years, you still have bills. You still have to pay your staff. You still have to feed America. I mean, Tulare County is part of the Central Valley, which offers, it's the salad bowl to America. I mean, what do we do in the meantime? What do you do in the meantime?
Well, if you'll notice that your food prices have increased substantially over the last 5 years.
Noticed.
And the reason a lot of people don't realize it is taken out of the Consumer Price Index. So if you put food back in the Consumer Price Index, people would notice the price increases even more, but they've gone up substantially.
So there is good news though. This year, Tulare County and counties to the north saw a decent amount of rain. The rain, basically you hit average.
Well, this year we're being allocated 75% of our water, surface water, from Millerton Lake.
That's different than zero.
A lot different than zero.
So what does that do for Tulare County, that you have this allocation?
Well, it certainly diminishes the groundwater pumping. We are in a severely overdraft groundwater basin, so it helps us a great deal.
Can we talk about groundwater? I think for the city slickers amongst us, we don't know what groundwater means, but we know that literally many communities, they get their water from the ground. They literally drill into the ground and pump the water out. Now, if you overdraft in communities on the coast, that can cause what's known as seawater intrusion into the groundwater basin. In the Central Valley, if you do that, you're not close enough to the coast, so the ground will collapse on itself and create what's called subsidence. I understand in significant portions of the Central Valley, we've seen subsidence, and you can't puff it back up again. Are you seeing subsidence in Tulare County?
We are seeing it on the west side of our county, but the difference between us and most counties is that we're heavily dependent upon surface water, which comes from the dams from storage. But on the converse side, when we do not receive
the allocation,
most of the citrus industry is located in an area where there is no groundwater available. So
These are communities of yours in
Well,
Tulare County. Well, Tulare County communities.
right, before Friant Dam was built on the San Joaquin River, many of our east side cities were on the brink of being disbanded and abandoned
Abandoned.
because
People had to leave.
people would have to leave because there wasn't sufficient groundwater to serve the people that lived in those cities.
So how is it looking now? We had this average year, 75% allocation. Are we seeing subsidence? Are we over pumping? Has it gotten better?
Well, we're going to do less pumping this year, so
Okay.
we'll see less subsidence. I think what's happened because of the zero allocation for 2 years for surface water, the land prices are going to go down. And because you don't know if you're going to have water from year to year, and this was the first 2 years in the history of the current Friant system that surface water was not delivered. For example, my neighbors have 20 acres across the street from my house. I would like to buy, but at what price would I buy it when I'm not sure I'm going to have water to grow a crop on it?
What do we do, sir? What do you do? I mean, not only are you a farmer, you're a supervisor, so you see it from both sides. You know, how do you work as a farmer? Or how do you work public policy to try to improve the situation?
I think on a public policy matter, we do a lot of work in the state capitol. The only way we're going to solve the water problem in the state of California is 3 prongs.
Please.
You have to have forest management, the source of our surface water.
Meaning you don't want the forest to overgrow so that there can be snow that falls and melts, because if they're overgrown, they stay on the trees and evaporate. Is that?
That's correct. And
Okay.
the other part, you have too many trees that are sucking water.
Oh, right. Yeah, that's simple. Yeah, they're drinking. Okay.
So you have to have forest management. You have to have more surface water storage.
Right, which
So-
we should get because of Prop 1.
We're hoping.
Okay, right. We haven't spent money yet.
But with surface water storage, you can also get groundwater storage
Right.
when it floods. Then you're going to have the municipalities retreat, recirculate their wastewater.
Well, you know, you use a nice term, wastewater. I know what that means. That's toilet to tap. And there's an ick factor there, but in the final analysis, I mean, if you treat it and then inject it into the ground, it should be fine, no?
It will be. But I think technology is moving so fast, you may be able to treat it and put it right back into the drinking water system.
You wouldn't even need to re-inject into the ground.
No, you would not need to re-inject in the ground.
Are we there yet? I mean,
Well,
as a society.
We do have the technology to do that. The problem is it takes so much energy, electricity.
And then we have
do it.
AB 32, which has all the implications surrounding greenhouse gas. This is complicated. It's a very complicated issue. But let me go back to you and your neighbors. How are you doing? Is it a better year? Because look, you know, again, the city slickers have no idea. Are you doing okay? Actually, the LA Times had a front page article about East Porterville and how it was really hurting. How are you doing?
Well, I would say those of us in agriculture are doing better.
Good.
Unfortunately, some of those in our disadvantaged communities are not doing any better because the groundwater, they still have to drill new wells because we have to provide them with other water
Which is
because
expensive.
because their wells went dry. So like in East Porterville, you're looking at maybe up $100,000 a month. The state is costing the state to provide water for those communities.
He is Alan Ishida. He is a supervisor in Tulare County. My name is Brad Pomerance. We're coming to you from the National Association of Counties Convention in Long Beach. You're watching Charter Local Edition.